This is a case I've been obsessed with for years. Every time I revisit the ChrisWatts murders, new questions appear. Questions that were never answered in court and questions that still bother people today. Tonight, we are diving into the real mysteries. Was there a plan before the murders? How deep was Nichol Kessinger's involvement, if any? Why did Chris kill his family so quickly after meeting another woman? And why does so much of the official timeline make no sense? This is not a retelling of the case. This is a deep dive into the unanswered questions, the parts that don't add up. Welcome to the Midnight Cult. One of the strangest but least discussed moments happened before the murders, when Bella allegedly had a severe reaction to nuts while staying with Chris's parents. Many people wonder, was this incident accidental, or was it a test? A rehearsal? Plan A? Shanann believed the in-laws ignored her daughter's allergy on purpose. But here's the unsettling angle. Chris did nothing. No outrage. No protection. No boundary setting. Some people speculate that this showed early willingness to remove obstacles, even when the obstacles were his own children. Was his mother involved? Not proven. But the disturbing part is Chris's response, or lack of one. It revealed something cold, detached, and maybe sinister long before the murders. Chris once sent Shanann a photo of a doll wrapped in a blanket, posed as if it were dead. Many believe the photo was meant to scare her. But others ask a darker question. Was that photo actually meant for Nichol? Did he send it to the wrong woman? Was he practicing imagery, symbolism, fantasy? Or was he showing off a twisted plan to the person he wanted a new life with? Nobody knows. But the timing of that photo is deeply unsettling. Nichol has always claimed she and Chris only dated for a few weeks. Then investigators discovered over 12,000 images and files tied to her on his phone. 12,000. In a matter of weeks? This raises two possibilities. 1. The relationship lasted much longer than she admitted. Or 2. Chris was obsessively collecting photos, screenshots, and searches of her. Either scenario reveals something alarming. Either she lied about the timeline, or he was already deeply unhinged by the time the affair became physical. Both possibilities matter. People often ask, what would Chris have gotten if he didn't take the plea deal? The answer is simple: the death penalty. Colorado was still using it at the time. Chris avoided the death penalty, but in exchange he received the absolute maximum sentence possible. 5 life sentences with no possibility of parole. So did he really win anything? It doesn't look like it. Especially since he wasn't drug tested. He wasn't evaluated mentally. And he never appealed, not once, even though his family publicly believes he didn't kill the girls. Why didn't he fight the charges? Why didn't he appeal? Why did he give up instantly? Chris broke in minutes during questioning. He crumbled immediately once his father walked in. This wasn't a hardened killer. He was submissive, passive, easily swayed. So viewers ask, did Nichol choose Chris because he was malleable? Weak? Easy to dominate? She Googled Shanann for months before the affair even started. She searched Chris's name repeatedly. She researched marriage, finances, and divorce long before he ever mentioned leaving his wife. Did she study him psychologically? Did she sense he was desperate for praise and approval? Did she see how easy he was to manipulate? We don't know. But the power imbalance is impossible to ignore. This is the most disturbing question in the entire case. Who kills their entire family for someone they barely know? Unless he believed she was his escape button. He had built a fantasy of a new identity. He was manipulated or encouraged indirectly. Or the affair started long before she admitted. Psychologists call this identity collapse. Chris wanted a new life so badly he erased the old one. But the speed at which this happened suggests more was going on behind closed doors. Possibly with Nichol. Possibly with someone else present that morning. Possibly something triggered the explosion. Chris's neighbor reported hearing regular screaming arguments from the Watts home. Yet everyone who knew Chris described him as quiet, non-aggressive, submissive, conflict avoidant. So why did the neighbor hear violent fights? Was Chris hiding a darker side? Was Shanann confronting him about the affair? Was something escalating behind the scenes? Why wasn't that neighbor interviewed more deeply? Another question left unanswered. Chris's mother and sister famously said, "Everyone knows what kind of man you are." But their tone wasn't angry. It was almost dismissive, as if they believed he wasn't capable. Many believe. They think Nichol was involved. They think Chris was coerced. They think he didn't kill the girls. Or they think he acted under extreme manipulation. Why were they so calm? Why didn't they cut him off entirely? It suggests they know more than we do. This is one of the biggest mysteries. Nichol was never publicly asked where she was during the murders. Her alibi was never released. No timestamps. No GPS. No phone logs for those hours. Why? Was it incompetence? Was it privacy? Or was it because her story didn't align and investigators didn't want to ignite a media explosion? The biggest unanswered question in the entire case. Chris claimed the murders happened after Shanann got home at 1:48 a.m. But evidence suggests loud noises weren't reported. The girls were awake the next morning. Chris acted rushed and unprepared. A woman with a ponytail was seen leaving the home. Some theories suggest the fight happened in the morning. The killings were impulsive. Or another person was present. Could the kids have seen something? Could a confrontation with Nichol have happened earlier than we know? Could a third person have been involved? Nothing has ever been confirmed or ruled out. One of the strangest parts of the case. No recovered text messages between Chris and Nichol the night before. No interior home camera footage. No neighbor reports of screams. No retrieved deleted files. No drug tests on Chris. It's as if the most crucial 12 hours vanished. Was this incompetence? Coincidence? Or intentional omission? We may never know. This case is full of contradictions, unanswered questions, and eerie coincidences. Did Chris act alone? Was he manipulated? Did Nichol play a bigger emotional role than she admitted? Why were so many investigative steps never taken? This is a case that will haunt people forever because it simply does not make sense. Let me know what you think in the comments. This has been the Midnight Cult. Subscribe for more true crime deep dives into the cases that never leave your mind.